Peter,
Hello, Ronnie.
nice to meet you
You
again.
too. I feel like I've met you a lot the last couple of
Well,
days. We have.
over the
Very
2
important
days.
stuff.
Now I'm going to kick off with what's in your hand.
This is 𝗁, the duck.
Can you please explain?
Well, yeah, it wasn't my idea. I wanted to get that out up front. It was actually one of our head engineers.
Right.
So there you go. He runs our marketing department, as you can see. And as you know, in agile development, they're kind of taught, or they're used to talking to something to flush out their problems and their ideas.
Yep.
And so software engineers often have a toy or something that they talk to. And I can't quite remember the exact reason, but I think one of them had a duck or something. And they named it 𝗁. And 𝗁 became our marketing
So it was
mascot.
born.
Yes. And so now we go to these conferences all around the world with hundreds of ducks. And they're like the most popular thing. And there you go. And interestingly enough, people are more interested in 𝗁s than they are unstructured data.
We kicked off the interview with the duck.
Yeah.
So moving on to
More
what you
important
do.
things. Yeah.
So tell me, what's the service you provide and why does it matter to the industry?
So I guess we're at the 101 of data management, and specifically unstructured data. So anything outside of the database, which in this environment, particularly in the legal world, is the number one problem when it comes to data, because it's predominantly unstructured. And unstructured is sitting in all those apps and environments, repositories that we're familiar with. Again, in the legal industry, the DMS, the document management system, all the way through to the Microsoft stack, and then other repositories such as file shares, on-prem, cloud, or Google, Box, et cetera, et cetera. And it's a little bit of the Wild West. There's a lot of it. It's out of control. It's full of value. It's full of risk, and it's full of cost. And what we do is we enable organizations to get their arms around it and relatively easily to determine what content they want to keep, what content they want to move on, what content they want to classify, structure, clean, put into the appropriate repository to leverage other workflows and use cases. And today, what's dominating everyone's conversation is AI. And AI is effectively only as good as the data you put in.
Sure.
As we know, garbage in, garbage out. Still true. It was 10, 15 years ago. It's still the same case. And so essentially, another way of viewing what we do now is data curation for AI. But all the things to get to data curation still are valid. PII, sensitive data, duplication, obsolete, trivial, redundant, all of those things you have to identify. And then once you've gone through that process, you can start getting to matter. All that matters is matter to a law firm, and they want to run their AI largely over those matters. So
what are you finding in the last 6 months? What are you finding are the kind of the most common sentiments from clients or prospects?
Well, first of all, it's incredibly fast. It seems, I've been through a number of cycles in my career, and this feels like the fastest one. There's a lot of similarities to the dot-com era, where I was probably prime age and where I was in my life and my career then. This one's even faster, and the ramifications and consequences are far greater for reasons that obviously the audience understand. And so I think at the highest, simplest level of answer to your question, the last 6 months has just been this unbelievable acceleration towards AI, whatever that may mean to the organization, the use case, the function that's exploring it. But it's touching everything. And I think as a participant in the market, it's about where do you add value? How do you go on that journey? How do you ensure that you're adding value to the customers, that you're not going to be made redundant yourself, as in the capability technology, and that you're also leveraging it to improve your own internal workflows, but also to improve your offering. And the last 6 months have just been incredibly fast. And there's a few presentations I was in over the last couple of days. The one I did, I asked a question of the audience, asked a couple of questions of the audience, and the question that got the most hands up, probably 70, 80% of the room, was who is considering how they organize their unstructured data and curate their data for AI. Nearly everyone puts their hand up. A year ago, people probably wouldn't have understood the question.
Right, exactly.
Certainly 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And so that's an acceleration.
Yeah.
And so it makes you wonder where we'll be in a year, never mind 2 or 3 years' time. It's remarkable.
Well, a bit of an aspirational question then. What does the world look like when you're successful in, say, 5 years' time? What does that look like for you?
For us or for our customers?
For you and your customers.
Yeah, I think, it's really, there's a lot of unknowns. This is kind of the classic known unknowns and unknown unknowns. For us, what would be really good is if the market, for once and for all, recognizes that they need all these things, but a lot of them are shiny toys, and that ultimately they're only going to be successful and work properly if they deal with the oil. The challenge they've got is their data. And if they can sort their data out, then all these other things will perform and excel.
Yeah.
From AI through to all the other governance, risk, compliance, value, innovation, assets, etc. And that would be wonderful if we can move into that place where people just get it. And I think that might be the difference with AI, is that there's a recognition. We've already seen the market accelerate forward and then take a little bit of a pause and then start reevaluating some of the decisions, recognizing the need to have clean data, curate your data. And so if the broader market, it can't just be us, if the broader market recognize that, stop pretending they can find workarounds, short fixes, that would be wonderful for us. And I think the broader market and other players in our space, that would be good.
And so in terms of where you're based and how many people, what does that look like, the layout?
So we're British origin, spun out of Southampton University 20 odd years ago. So our engineers are predominantly in the UK, down in Winchester. Most of our front office is in the US, so most of our kind of business is in the US. And then we've got representation obviously in Europe and over here in APAC, with a small office here in Melbourne.
Yeah.
And then we've got a very broad partner network, which gives us the expansion to really cover AmLaw, top 100 in the States, all the way down to the next 1,000, 2,000.
Yeah, right.
And so we've partnered with the obvious candidates. We kind of follow the DMS ecosystem. If anybody operates in a law firm, and to some extent corporations, but a law firm operating in the DMS ecosystem is our world. And so obviously there's two dominant DMSs, iManage and NetDocs.
Yeah.
And then there's half a dozen dominant partners that give you 80% of global coverage.
Yeah.
𝗁𝗏, Harbour, Vellata, and I don't want to miss any, but there's the obvious candidates. And so we partner up with all of those guys. And so they both give us the commercial footprint, expansion, and they also give the ability to deliver, which is an important consideration in this game.
So tentacles and networking and lots of collaboration, which is obviously critical. What does the next 6 months, sort of the runway up until Christmas, where in the world are you going to be?
So the US always dominates. I think Australia, we've got, so for the Aussie audience, I think there's a really interesting bookend to your year. There's this event and there's the 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗄 event on the Gold Coast. And that seems to work really well. And, the audience, the customers seem to enjoy it. It seems to position them nicely for either middle of budget or end of budget or thinking about new year. The US, obviously, 𝗁𝗏 is huge. That's in August this year in Nashville. That's a big event. So we put a lot of time and energy and costs and people at that. And then you've got 10, 20 other events around it. So a lot of in-house kind of trade shows and events we go to. We do a lot of luncheons. So last week we did a couple of luncheons in Brisbane and Melbourne, which are really nice, very intimate. Yeah. Get a chance to form proper relationships, which is quite tough these days. And then it's kind of more social media, either through our partner network, commentators, analysts, your good selves. It's a more broader mix to catch those that we can't afford to always go and visit.
And how does someone get in touch with you? There's obviously the website.
Yeah, I think the easiest thing is just go to ActiveNav.com. Yeah. I think that's we're on the board up there. Second down. There we go. There. Yeah. So I think that's always the easiest. You'll find us all there, or obviously on LinkedIn. We'd love to talk to you, and we're doing some pretty cool stuff. And I think we're a little bit unique in the market for that. There aren't many people doing what we're doing and trying to do. Some of the work we're doing with future products, specifically around Matter. We call it Matter ID, our module, we think is going to revolutionize the approach law firms have is a matter's in the wild, they can't find it. And we're doing some really cool stuff in order to not only find it, but to score it so you know whose matter, where it should reside, who owns it, and get it back into its rightful home so you can run AI and other stuff on it. So
the point you made, structured data. And it all
effectively,
to that.
I hate saying it because it's really not the case, but turning it into structured sense.
Yeah,
exactly.
Structured data.
Kind of, yeah. Careful.
In all, yeah.
Yeah. all roads lead back to trying to make it easier and be able to find what you want at the right time.
Yeah.
And leverage the value from that data.
Yeah.
And that's not the case today. And unfortunately, shiny toys won't really help. You still have to do the fundamentals of good data management and governance.
And to your point, there's no shortcuts.
Unfortunately not,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
There's some quick wins,
Yeah.
but
no
not
shortcuts.
long-term
Yeah.
wins and shortcuts, that's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that's a very powerful way to end
Thank you.
the interview. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I found it very refreshing talking to you and seeing what was going on at your stand. It's
Kind,
been a
yeah.
pleasure talking to you.
We've had a lot of fun and banter as well, haven't we?
So on that note, we'll end and say thank you.
Thank you. Thanks very much.